Here we are, fifth grade, week before LEAP test, all right? We're going to review. So geography, one of the main things you need to review. In fact, all you're being tested over is geography and history, all right? So we're going to spend some time on geography today, all right? Remember, geography talks about what the land is like, all right? So our key points, types of maps. Can you identify your continents and your oceans? And also important landforms and bodies of water. Most of this should be review. We're just going to go over it. You're going to practice to make sure you know this stuff for your test, all right? So first, types of maps. Your physical maps are going to show you mountains and rivers, what the land is like, all right? Political maps are going to show you borders and cities, all right? How we divide up the country, all right, for government, things like that. Population maps are going to show you where people live. You notice in this population map, more people are in the darker areas, so more people on the East Coast and on the West Coast. All right, we'll see what landform actually stops people from settling here too, okay? So product maps and economic maps. Those are two different names for the same type of map, all right? They're going to show you natural resources and economic activities. What do people do for money in different areas, okay? So it's going to show you where you can find gold, iron, coal, natural gas, some of those different minerals and fuels that people use, and it's going to show you where you can find those in the world, all right? Product maps, economic maps, two names for the same type of map. Types of landforms and bodies of water. All right, so you should know what a lake is, what a canyon is, what mountains are, what an island is. That's fourth grade stuff. In fifth grade, you need to know why all of those are important. How do they impact people, okay? So how do mountains impact human settlement? Think about it. They create a barrier to settlement, okay? So my favorite example is the 13 colonies. Why did all the colonies stop right about here? Well, the Appalachian Mountains created a barrier that people had trouble crossing easily, okay? How do rivers impact human settlement? Think about it. Rivers provide fresh water and trade routes, okay? So along rivers, you can farm because you have water, and look at all of this sweet, sweet cargo going along these trade routes, all right? This is a modern picture showing you that it's not only in olden times that people trade on rivers, but nowadays people trade on rivers too, okay? By the way, notice you're going to need to know these rivers: the Missouri River, the Ohio River, and the Mississippi River in the middle. All right, let's go on to important rivers. Speaking of rivers, so the Mississippi River, all right? The Ohio River shooting out to the east, the Missouri River shooting out to the west, and the Rio Grande River down here in the south. So Rio Grande, it's actually pronounced Rio Grande. It's Spanish for big river, okay? And it's the border between Mexico and the United States, okay? We call it Rio Grande. In Spanish, it's Rio Grande, all right? All you need to know is it's the river that separates Texas and Mexico, all right? Important landforms and bodies of water. So there are certain landforms in the United States that you will have to know, okay? One of them is the Great Salt Lake. It's unique because most lakes, like the Great Lakes, are actually made of fresh water, so you can use it for farming or drinking. Well, the Salt Lake, as you may have guessed, is made of salt, all right? Salt water, just like in the ocean, all right? So it's a large salt lake, very unique. And also the interesting about it is salt water makes things float more, all right? So there's all these pictures of people floating up in the Salt Lake, okay? It's very interesting. But notice it's in the northwest part of the country. Down here in the other part of the country, you'll see the Gulf of Mexico, all right, in the southeast, all right? Gulf of Mexico, you may have heard of it mostly because oil drilling is very important there, okay? Every once in a while we have oil spills there and it gets very polluted, all right? But it's the Gulf of Mexico. Great Lakes. Why do they call them the Great Lakes? Well, because they're so great, you can see them from space. They're huge. They make the border, part of the border between the United States and Canada, all right? Now, the Great Lakes are so big that when you're sitting on the beach of the Great Lakes, it looks like you're looking at the beach into the ocean. It just goes, the water goes as far as you can see, all right? In fact, it looks so much like an ocean that I just had to build a sandcastle like I was at the beach, okay, when I went there. All right. And in fact, if I'm going to show you my sandcastle that I made at the Great Lakes, I should probably show you the sandcastle I made down here in the Gulf of Mexico too. Okay. Now, another important landform that you're going to need to know is the Grand Canyon. Just excuse this misspelling up here. All right. The Grand Canyon, all right? It's in the southwest part of the country, all right? Now, the Grand Canyon was formed over time by this river running through it. Slowly but surely, it carved that ridge, that canyon, into the rock, all right? Very grand, very much a canyon. It is the Grand Canyon in the southwestern United States, okay? Now, mountain ranges. Appalachian Mountains in the east, we've talked about them. They blocked the 13 colonies from spreading west. And the Rocky Mountains. Oh, remember that map, the population map, when there's almost nobody living in this area? It's because it's the mountains. People can't live on the mountains, all right? Now, how do people change the land? As you're thinking about geography and the land, you should always be thinking about how people change the land. How does it change over time, all right? So, clearing land and draining swamps, so there's room to build buildings, and there's room for homes. Mining to get things like gold and iron out of the ground so that they can be used. And irrigation, where you actually make ditches to lead water over to your crops. Okay, those are all ways that people change the land. Now, this again is kind of fourth grade stuff. What you in fifth grade need to know is, what is the impact? How do people changing the land impact the land? And you need to know, when people clear land, mine, and irrigate, plants and animals die or move because the trees that they live in and get their food from are now destroyed. And also pollution, all right? More humans settle in an area, they create more trash, that creates more pollution in the environment, okay? So fourth graders know this stuff. You need to know this stuff. What is the impact? Plants and animals can die, and pollution is caused from people clearing land, mining, and irrigation, okay? All right, that sums up most of our geography review, all right? Today you're gonna have a little practice PowerPoint where you're gonna be able to answer some questions. You will also have some flashcards that you should be able to work with. Good luck. I hope you get through it. Practice these things. A lot of it you're just going to have to memorize and learn, okay? Go for it.